It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. 4 boys have been rushed to hospital following an explosion near Bulahdelah. It's understood they were playing with nitro fuel for a remote-controlled boat outside a home at Narong at about 7 last night when they decided to set a small amount of the liquid on fire, which then caused the bottle containing the fuel to explode. Joanne Elliott from Police Headquarters says 2 of the boys have been airlifted to Sydney for treatment.
2 boys aged 13 suffered serious burns to their chest, arms, face and legs. They were airlifted to the Children's Hospital at Westmead. An 11-year-old boy and a 12-year-old boy suffered burns to their feet. Now, they are being treated in John Hunter Hospital. Police believe that the incident may be the result of misadventure.
It's claimed the driver responsible for a crash at Williamtown, which claimed the life of his 7-year-old nephew in January, was under the influence of drugs at the time. The 35-year-old man will face Raymond Terrace Local Court after being charged with several offences, including dangerous driving occasioning death. It's alleged he was attempting to pass traffic banked up on Madawi Road by using a grass verge on the left-hand side when his 4-wheel drive became airborne and crashed into a gully. The 7-year-old boy was a rear seat passenger in the vehicle and later died after sustaining serious internal injuries. The state Liberal and Labor parties are continuing their tit-for-tat over funding election promises in the Hunter. Labor slammed the Liberals' proposed $200 million pledge to build the Hexham bypass and criticised the government for allegedly blackmailing the region. Fair Trading Minister Matthew Mason-Cox says the funding will come from the lease of part of the state's electricity distribution network.
Indeed, we have a very detailed plan that we've put to the people. We've made it very clear. We're talking about a 49% lease of the remaining electricity assets. The majority of those assets will remain under government ownership. Indeed, 100% of the assets are owned by the government. It's a 49% lease, and with that money, we will invest in the infrastructure that this city desperately needs.
There's still no sign of an elderly man who went missing from Maitland Hospital earlier this week. 86-year-old Herbert Nobby Bartlett had been receiving care after suffering a stroke 6 weeks ago, but left the hospital on Monday morning. It's believed he could be in the Maitland, Kurri Kurri or Western areas. He's described as being Caucasian, about 160 centimetres tall, with short white-grey hair, and was last seen wearing a blue pyjama top with fine white stripes, cream-coloured shorts and shoes, and glasses. The Upper Hunter is preparing for a tough year ahead as unemployment rises and business expectations remain subdued. The Hunter Research Institute is announcing figures today, but have already indicated 2014 as the toughest year for the Upper Hunter economy for more than a decade. Senior Research Fellow Jenny Williams says the structure of the region's economy is changing.
At the moment, the opportunities are very much around increasing involvement in exporting activities and also looking at the changing structure of demand. So if we look at China, they're reducing slowly their demand for things like iron ore and coal, but in the longer term, they're also increasing demand right across Asia for things like protein.
And Cessnock has made its way onto a list of Australia's best holiday destinations. It's been ranked 10th on the TripAdvisor list, with Sydney coming out on top. Controversially, the Gold Coast failed to make the list. Now with sport, Belinda Delaceres.
There's expected to be several changes to the Newcastle Jets lineup ahead of Sunday's clash with Adelaide. Sam Gallagher and rookie Radovan Pavicevic are the top picks to replace winger Andrew Hull, who's on duty with the Olyroos. Nick Cowburn again set to cover at right back for an injured Scott Neville. Meanwhile, Zenon Caravella is tipped to return to the fold after recovering from a minor hamstring issue. Coach Phil Stubbins says it's a learning curve.
Backwards to 7 games ago up to this point, we take it all on board and we use it as an experience and a platform to try and move forward next year.
Rookie Pat Bye-Bye is set to headline the Knights' 18-man outfit for Saturday's showdown against Penrith following the suspension of in-form front rower Corbin Sims. Tyler Randall will return to an extended bench with David Fowlongo to partner Cade Snowden at prop. And Hunter Speedway product Jason Doyle is celebrating after taking out his first ever Elite League Riders' Championship in the UK. That's sport. I'm Belinda Delas Harris.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 9.